Okay, this is a brief tutorial on how to fill out the exterior form when you have the photographs here on the right. You have the photographs here on the right. So you go into the form. Now in this form I already filled out the initial part of it without the photographs. And there's something I wanted you to notice. You can look at how to fill out the form without the photographs on the other video. When you save a form and you're not completed it, when you first go back into the exterior form, you're going to see this big question mark, and that's going to let you know that there's several things on the form that you need to fill out. Sometimes it won't be this much information, sometimes it'll be a small yellow box because it's less information that you have to fill out. So anyway, there's a considerable amount more information you can get from the photographs. Number one, you can get an approximate date of inspection. This is 5/11. Now, I uploaded these on 5/11, but I actually did the inspection on 5/8. However, if you don't know any better, you can just put 5/11. I'm going to put 5/8 because I know that I did it on 5/8. But if you don't know any better, you go ahead and you put 5/11 because the inspection couldn't have been done after the photo was uploaded. So at the very least, the inspection was done on 5/11. You can see this part is filled out. If it says report originally ordered as an AEH, I want you to put no, because in very rare cases is that answer yes. You still won't know whether the occupant is interviewed, so you don't have to worry about these questions still. And then moving down, they start talking. Remember what I said about the concrete block? It'll either say block or concrete block. You always put concrete block, and you always put concrete block 100%. For the most part, that's how buildings are. Now, in this question right here, exterior wall finish, for the most part, most buildings, including this one right here, you can see from the picture, is 100% stucco. Now, I don't know if you know exactly what stucco material. In a later video, I'll show you how to distinguish the different building materials. But for right now, most of the buildings are going to be 100% stucco. Also, notice what I did to make that picture, enlarge the picture. When you have photographs here in the side over here, you can make them larger by simply moving your mouse over to the photograph and double clicking on it, left click, or 2 times on it, and it will bring the picture up. Be sure not to press the garbage button by mistake when you close it out. You close it out like this and it leaves the picture there, right there in the corner. And so you double click on it, and you can enlarge the picture. So moving on, as you can see, there's different views of the house. You have a front view, rear view, left side, right side, roof, pool, different attributes of the property. And you use these to fill out the form. Now, like I said, you can tell from the front of there, it all looks like one material. It's 100% stucco. In general, most of them are going to be stucco and 100%, so get used to putting that. But there are other materials such as brick veneer. Sometimes they'll ask you that it's asking you the exterior wall finish versus the exterior wall construction. The construction is concrete block, but the finish is stucco, or whatever other material. You see there's other brick, stone, veneers, wood siding, masonite, vinyl siding, aluminum siding, and you can actually tell that from the pictures over here on the right. It asks about the foundation type. I already filled these out, and you can fill these out without the pictures, but for the most part, the foundation type is going to be concrete slab 100%. So I always want you to put concrete slab 100%, and when it's different from that, I'll fill it out, but it's very rarely going to be different from that. In terms of the foundation shape, you can get a general idea how many major corners is on this building from these pictures. And so you can tell from these pictures there's about at least 6 to 7 corners on the building. Also, now in this building there wasn't one. But if there's something like a shed or something like that on the outside, I'll put outbuildings, yes. But in this particular case, I'm going to put no because there were none. And then you have garages. There were no garages that let me see, no, that's not right. It had an attached garage. This is your garage right here. You could tell from looking at the picture. It's off to the right hand side. You can enlarge the picture and see it. It's an attached garage right here in the front. And a lot of the garages are going to be attached, or they're going to be built in like this. This is not a garage. This is a carport, but it'll be built in with the door closed. It'll look like this over here. As a matter of fact, yeah, no, that's a carport. So this one has a garage and a carport. And so what you'll do is you'll have a attached two-car garage, because you can see it's two doors. And then you have attached carport, number of cars. You put 1. You can clearly see that there's 1. It asks about balconies. That's a balcony right there, up in the upper right-hand corner. So it has 1 medium balcony at least, but let's look in the back. Does it have any balconies in the back? It doesn't seem to have any balconies in the back, so it has 1 medium balcony. Number of balconies, 1. And you just use the pictures to answer the questions. Porches, it has at least 2 porches. 2 open porches. Sometimes the porches will have screen over them, but those are usually for smaller houses. Sometimes you'll have large screens, but we'll go over that. When you encounter those situations, you could just ask me and we'll deal with it then. And so we'll put 1 open porch, or we'll put 2 open porches because there's 1 in the front, 1 in the back. And there's a medium open porch and a large open porch. No decks. Screened enclosures, no. Okay, in terms of the roof, you still, I don't want you to answer the estimated roof age. And from here it's difficult to tell, but when you have a roof with that A-looking shape, it's called a gable roof. And that's the roof type, but you can actually use the pictures to tell the roof type, which I'll show you in a later video. Roof composition. I think you should understand the difference between clay tile and the regular shingle roofs, but we'll go over that also in a later video, but you will be able to tell that from the videos. And in general, you can just put good for roof condition, and if it's something that is not good, I'll correct it. You don't have to worry about these 2 questions. You still answer the ones from the previous video that I was telling you about. Fire hydrant. Now, usually I'll include a photo of a fire hydrant if a fire hydrant was there within 1,000 feet. So the answer becomes yes. And then basically you use the pictures to fill out these other questions. For instance, pool. It was an in-ground pool. And it'll ask whether there's a perimeter fence. Most of them are yard fenced and completely fenced, and that's what you want to put, yard fence and yes, completely fenced. If there's any other information, if you see a pool picture, you just put that, and if I need to, I'll change it. But most of them are yard fenced and completely fenced. And yes, it is a self-locking gate on the fence. No diving board unless you see it in the picture. No pool slide unless you see it in the picture. If you see a hot tub in the picture, answer yes. If you answer yes, it's going to ask whether it's protected. Protected means there's a cover over it. If there's no cover over it, it's not protected. But in this case, there's no hot tub. Obviously, if you see any playground or anything like that, and pictures, trampolines, but all of this is basically going to be no. And no tree limbs touching. Dogs, as like I said, usually I'll put it in the notes that there's dogs, but in this case there was none. No other animals, no appliances outside, untagged vehicles. All of this is no, and that's pretty much the end of the form. No cracks in the exterior walls. This is a very nice house. And so when you see the situation, you save the form and it'll let you know whether there's any errors. Okay, saved with errors. You click continue. And then we go back to the top, and as you can see, it's a small square now because you filled out much more of the form.